Hello and welcome back to Mood India, California Arts Association's presentation of performing arts from India. I'm your host, Arvind Kansal. In the studio today we have three young budding artists from San Francisco Bay Area. Seema Gupta, who's learning vocal Hindustani classical, Viraaj Marathe, who plays harmonium, and Nihar Paranjpe, who's learning tabla. Welcome. So Seema, let me start with you. How long have you been learning Hindustani classical vocal?
I've been learning for about 9 years.
Really?
Originally I learned from Surinder Singh Manji. He's a master tabla and sitar player, and he teaches all ages singing, tabla, sitar, even flute.
And he's of course very famous, rightly so, in the Bay Area.
Yeah, he's a very famous teacher for
Right.
many students. Yeah.
And are you still learning from him?
No, recently I've begun to learn from Shubhangi Sakalkar. She's also a very famous teacher and performer in the Bay Area.
Right. Actually, as a matter of fact, very recently she had a performance.
Yeah.
Right. So, when you started learning from Shubhangi, what kind of emphasis are you placing right now? Because you're learning vocal, is there some specific techniques you're learning?
I think I'm learning more voice control from Shubhangi Auntie, which is where I'm, focusing more on getting in sur and controlling my voice, keeping it steady.
So sur is hitting the correct notes,
Yeah.
and holding your voice steady in that. I will come back to you and talk some more about what you're learning and what really interests you. Let me ask Viraaj. So Viraaj, how long have you been learning harmonium?
I've been learning for about 6 years now. My guru is Viraaj, and he's a very well-known peti player as well, and does Satko or Shubhangi Satkar as well.
Right. And for our viewers, peti is another word that we use for harmonium.
Yeah.
Right.
So they'll be and
Vivek actually has been on this program before.
yeah.
He'll be very happy to know that you're playing also here. How long have you been learning from Vivek?
About 6 years now. You get first 2 years or so basic, and then as you go on, more and more advanced.
More into details
Yeah.
and more advanced. Apart from harmonium, do you play any other instrument?
I started playing piano about 2 years ago, and that was interesting for me because when I started it, I was expecting it to be very easy since I played peti. So I started piano, but actually it's quite difficult because you play with 2 hands on piano, but that's just a small difference. The playing on peti, it's more of improv, and it sounds completely different, and everything in piano is more structured, I'd say.
Right. While playing piano, you're reading from the music sheets
Yeah.
and following that.
And this is more free.
So if you had your choice, what would you prefer playing the more?
I'd definitely play
Harmonium it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Nihar, how about you? How long have you been playing, and who's your guru?
I've been playing for 5 years now, and my guru is Abhinay, who is a very talented tabla player and has been accompanying many major artists here in the Bay Area.
As a matter of fact, he has been also on this program. I was talking to him just a few months ago.
Right.
Right. And how long did you say you have been learning from him?
I've been learning from him for about 3.5 years.
Let's see. And these are weekly classes or more frequent?
Right. My classes, I go to classes every Sundays, and I practice according to what my schedule shows.
Somehow
how
you have to
much-
make it fit into your school schedule.
Exactly.
So Seema, you talked about voice training. Could you give us some example? Could you talk more about the gamak and give us some example of how that goes?
Sure. So as you mentioned, there's a specific variations in the way you use your voice, and one of them, for example, is gamak, and I can demonstrate by singing a tan.
Please.
So first I'll sing it in sargam, which is just using the notes. Ni re ga ma dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. Ni re ga ma dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. And then now I'll sing it in akar without the gamak. And now with the gamak.
So for our viewers, when you do the gamak, you are constantly going forward and then coming back on that, right?
Yeah, I mean, could you explain more?
Maybe you want to talk some more about what makes the beauty come out in gamak when you play it.
I think it's the way you use your throat and the way difference between just singing plain and singing it. So you kind of like use the note in front of it and then you sing the note before.
Right.
So like instead of singing ni re ga, you sing sa ni ga re ga. So it's like and then if you keep practicing and practicing, it comes.
And you start off being slow and then it comes faster and faster.
And it's also like the weight you put on the notes. So it's like, it's really just how you use your voice, and that's why it's voice control.
I see. And what kind of practice do you have to do?
It's mostly just riyaz, which is when you just practice the same thing over and over. So this could be an example where you just sing the same thing over and over. And the more you do it, the more you get it, and after a while you can do it. It's like pushing your voice until you can do it.
I see.
Yeah.
When you go to, you do go to listen to other concerts of Hindustani classical, and not just vocal but instruments also, right, or full-fledged concert. What is it that you enjoy the most? Or what is it that you seek out the most?
I think I really prefer listening to singers, and especially classical singers. Like, you know, any famous singer is gonna come sing, especially at Vasant Bahar programs and such. I'll go and listen, and I think I focus mostly on the singer and not so much on the instruments, because I think I'm learning singing and I like to listen to what I can, you know, if I listen to something, then I'll be humming it the rest of the day. And so it's more like what I can hum and what I can sing myself. I like to listen because I can relate to it.
I see. So it is the singing that then attracts you and captures your attention.
Yeah.
See. In your free time, do you also listen to anything specific, Western or Indian classical, or what do you really enjoy?
Well, I like both, but I think it is kind of a conflict, you know, what should I listen to? Should I listen to rock or should I listen to classical Hindustani? So I think for me it's more of like, since I sing Hindustani classical, I feel like I need to listen to it, because if I don't, it kind of takes me out of practice, and I don't feel like I'm being in sur. Especially when I listen to Western classical a lot, then it kind of takes me out of sur and I'm not really kind of into it, because it's a lot deeper in the sense that I have to, you know, focus a lot more, be more disciplined. And so, you know, if I want to listen to Western music, sometimes I'll just, you know, listen to classical instead, just because I don't want to get out of practice. And I appreciate both though.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Nihar? Do you have any preference on Western versus Indian, and what do you like to listen while you're relaxing?
You know, I tried to listen to both, like Seema, and I tend to go to the Indian classical side, because that's mainly what my focus is, and of course my instrument, the tabla, comes from the Indian classical side.
Right.
So
Right.
I tend to listen generally more to Indian classical music than Western music.
Now, I understand that you have learned some vocals yourself, right? You do have a lot of interest in Hindustani vocal also.
Right. I try to, whenever possible, in concerts and different events, I always try to capture whatever the other artists are playing as well as singing. And it just creates the atmosphere for me and for my tabla as well.
I see. When you're listening to a concert, since you mentioned the concert, are you focusing on anything specific, or how are you enjoying it?
I'm mainly focusing on the melody part of it as well as the rhythmic. I generally stick to the idea of everybody playing all at once and just the flow of the song or rag.
I see. So you're really enjoying the whole composition put together,
Right.
and not just the tabla part.
Mhm.
That is of keen interest to
Yes.
you. I see. How about you, Viraaj? When you're playing or relaxing or playing harmonium in your free time, what is it that you're enjoying the most?
For me, it's probably the instruments when I'm listening, because over the years, I'm able to hear the instrument itself and be able to remember and try playing it later on. So I kind of know the song, but I try listening for the peti or whatever instrument's playing.
So you think by playing it or you're practicing it, you're able to, when you're listening, you're able to remember it better and get the melody part of it?
Yeah, when you're listening, it's a lot easier.
It's a lot easier for
Yeah.
you to come. In terms of listening interests, is it only Indian classical or Indian related, or are you interested in Western pop and rock also?
I'm very much interested in rock and everything, because like being brought up here, you kind of get influenced, like you like that kind of music, but I also definitely enjoy harmonium. When I play, it's very relaxing to me, so in relaxing situation, like I'm very tense. If I can play harmonium, I can relax myself. Like when I'm listening to Indian classical music, it's very helpful when I'm studying for a test or
Really?
anything like that. I tend to listen to that instead than rock, because it's a lot easier and relaxing.
See. Okay, it looks like that formula works for you. Seema, would you like to sing something, and then we all of us go through some piece? I understand that you performed recently. Maybe you can first tell us, what is it that you perform and where?
Oh, I performed last weekend at the Maharashtra Mandal's Chetulan competition. So I sang Raga Hir Bhairav, and it's based in Ektal, which is 12 beats.
Should we try that out?
Sure.
Okay. Beautiful. Great. Very good. Sounds very, very good. How long did you have to practice for this, to prepare for the program?
I mean, I guess when I have a performance that I'm going to sing for, I tend to practice more. It's like motivating, so.
Is it a matter of few weeks or over a few weeks you're practicing?
I guess a month or so, yeah.
Month or so.
I mean, usually prepare like a month in advance, and then, as my teacher, helps me come up with what to sing and the variations, I practice, and then I come up with the final product.
Sounds very good. Viraaj, in your learning harmonium, and what would you say has been the most challenging aspect for you? Or the fun aspect of it?
For me, it was probably sitting in crossed legs.
Crossed legs.
Because, I don't know, I find it very difficult to sit like this for a long time. I guess I wasn't trained or brought up to do it like this. But
I can understand. So do you have to stretch your legs once in a while?
Yeah, every now and then. Like, my guru also makes fun of me because sometimes I have to play like sitting in the most awkward positions.
That's an interesting observation. How about you? Did you what do you find most fun part of playing tabla?
I guess the more fun part of playing tabla was the rhythmic part and the actual keeping up with my own guru. And I always use my guru as an example and an idol from whom I can emulate or imitate the bowls, the tabla bowls, and the various compositions that he gives me.
I see. If you were to have a wish or a goal in learning tabla, what would that be?
My goal in learning tabla would definitely be to get accepted or be taught by a very great teacher such as Ustad Zakir Hussain or Pandit Swapan Chaudhary for tabla.
Both of whom are very well-known, world-famous players
Right.
who live in the Bay Area, actually.
Right.
So that's what you would like to do. Would you like to play with them?
Definitely, if I ever get a chance, then I would like to accompany them, kind of like a jugalbandi, which is when two artists or two or more artists play together with the same compositions.
That would be very nice. I really wish you the best in your goals.
Oh, thank you.
How about you, Seema? What would you like to do? Or where do you see this going?
Well, it's definitely a really strong passion for me, and I want to pursue it for the rest of my life. So I'm, considering maybe taking a year off after high school, and actually either going to India or staying here, but basically spending the year on, improving music, singing, morning, middle, night,
Doing it full time.
Yeah.
Doing it full time for a year.
Yeah.
Well, that would be really nice. I really hope you can get that. What would you like to be doing? Or where do you see this going?
For me, I probably won't continue. I will continue, but I might take a break or do some practicing over college. And then afterwards, I might come back and continue practicing again. But I don't know how I can sort of practice in college, but I think it's like,
so it's more like how you like it and how the fun
Yeah.
the fun part is. As long as that goes,
it's more like a hobby.
more like a hobby.
Yeah.
And as you said earlier, that's relaxing to you also.
Yeah.
In terms of learning anything specific, or in terms of doing some short-term activities, did you have any specific plans?
I definitely want to participate in as many concerts as I can, and whenever I get a chance, I do try to do that. But again, time is a very big scarcity.
Right.
in life.
Especially, so I should say that all of you are in high school, right? Different grades, and you don't have the luxury of just pursuing this all in your free time.
Yeah, that's true.
The opening piece that you had played, can you tell us something about it? What's the name, and maybe play it for our viewers?
Yes, the name of the piece is Maze Mahera Pandhari. It is what we call a bhajan. It's like, it's more of, has a beat, and the tabla, it has more of a beat. It's more fun to listen to in my perspective.
Right. It's a very famous Marathi bhajan for our viewers. Would you like to play that piece again?
Sure.
This concludes our program on young and budding artists in the San Francisco Bay Area. Thank you for joining us. Mood India's program on Indian musical instruments is a presentation of California Arts Association. We welcome your feedback and comments and hope to see you again next time. Until then, namaskar.